All right, everyone, it's your boy Fernie here with another news of the week. In this case, I'm going to highlight 8 different news articles that I found online through the Google News website, and then that way I'll showcase my own thoughts and opinions on them. How do you like my new little picture here of Godzilla reading his daily news? Since I wanted to showcase it here for this playlist. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's start these particular news articles. They're no random order, just different topics and themes altogether. First one here has to do with this, the wonderful world of Las Vegas. So this is from casino.org, and it says here the title, Vegas Myths Rebusted, the Megabucks Curse. So let's go ahead and let's see what it showcases. So there is apparently a curse associated with big jackpots. You read about those stories every now and then how so and so won some jackpot. Usually it's like with the lottery, and then things just befell them in a very bad manner. Like all of a sudden they had a bunch of people going after them, family members wanting to be able to do things to them to get money, collectors and other bad people out there that wanted to do more nefarious things. Who knows? Like it's just a crazy world when it comes to some of those stories. And then at the very end, they end up either going to jail or they have something happen to them and they're now 100% completely broke. So let's see what this says right here. If the supernatural is your jam, this edition of your ongoing series won't upend your worldview. Even if you believe that curses are a thing that's possible, the evidence for this one is flimsy to non existent. So, looks like it's saying that it doesn't happen. So, here you have somebody winning $34 million. Wow. Megabucks. Megabucks is that famous set of slot machines throughout Las Vegas and other parts of the country where you play that game. If you win these, that if the game showcases that famous Megabucks Eagle 3 times in a row, then essentially you win the entire jackpot. There was actually a recent one there somewhere in Excalibur, and I found the slot machine there. I found the actual slot machine where it occurred at. So it says here, January 2000, a 37-year-old cocktail waitress named Cynthia J. Brennan won a megabucks slot jackpot at the Desert Inn. Total was nearly $35 million. She married her boyfriend and they made plans to travel the world. But just 6 weeks later, Clark Morris, a drunken driver with 16 prior arrests, slammed into the back of Jay Brennan's car while it was stopped at a red light. The collision killed her sister. Oh no. Leila Ann J, 45, and then shattered Jay Brennan's spine. Says your Morris received a 28-year prison sentence. She, Jay Brandon, remains permanently paralyzed. Far too much of a jackpot to spend on medical expenses. So let's see what it says about that. Oh, it's a myth. So apparently, this is all 100% something that was made up, an urban legend of sorts. It says here that megabucks, the payoff starts at 10 million and increases by fractions of a cent every second until someone is lucky enough to win the 3 megabucks symbol. It was created back in 1986. Wow. I mean, that's a long time. That's almost 40 years ago. As a way to win back some of the business Nevada casinos were losing to state lotteries that promised mega million jackpots. I did not know that. I thought it was just always around forever. But no, it looks like it was an answer to the lotto. There's the symbols right there, the world famous megabucks symbols. March 2003, 25-year-old software engineer visited Las Vegas uh, from the NCAA tournament, turned a $100 megabucks slot spin into 39.7 million. I've heard about this. It says here it is still a world record. It is. It is the largest single win in slot history. $39.7 million. So the reason we don't know his name is because he was smart. He can request to be anonymous. It won't hide you from the IRS, but it prevents distant relatives and former friends from calling out of the work. I was just mentioning that, right? That seems to be a common situation with a lot of lotto winners. Some states, apparently, you cannot remain anonymous. You have to showcase who you really are. And other states, you have no choice. There is a downside to choosing anonymity. However, it allows fake news, the internet's wheelhouse, to proliferate about you and your fate. Ah. Since the record mega winner's name isn't known, the events of his life can't be tracked. So posters fill in the blanks with their own twists on Jay Brennan's story. Apparently, he died shortly after winning by gang violence or in a car crash or, I'm sorry, airplane crash or overdosing on drugs. Nothing much here. So it says here, even if the Megaplex curse were real, getting struck by lightning is something you should worry about more. The odds of that happening to you are 1 in 1.2 million. The odds of you experiencing a megabucks win, are 1 in 50 million. Wow! So you have more of a chance to get struck by a random bolt of lightning than winning the megabucks. How about that? And all, 22 people have won megabucks jackpots, exceeding 10 million in the past 16 years. Because they chose anonymity, there's no proving conclusively the incredibly bad things that happened to them. Now, that's not to say that the other stuff hasn't happened. I do read every now and then stories. People will actually post follow ups, like they'll say, "This is the 10th anniversary of so and so winning jackpot or some kind of lotto," and then all the stuff all the bad things that befell them afterwards. So that stuff really, really does happen. Now, whether it's a curse, no, I don't believe it's a curse. It's more along the lines of people again coming out of the woodworks to be able to try to get some of that lotto win from the winner themselves and doing anything they can to it, even nefarious things. But that's it. Next one comes again in the world of Las Vegas. This one is Las Vegas Magazine.com. I wanted to feature this because it showcases the world famous Neon Museum, which you're looking at here. I have been here. It is a fun place. I was only there during the daytime, though. Didn't have a chance to go at night. The reason I was there was because they had the Tim Burton experience. They had a lot of memorabilia associated with Tim Burton there. It was really, really fun, hella fun to see Beetlejuice, Mars Attacks, and some original works that he did there and some original drawings. I loved it. It was great, great stuff. I'll see if I can do a video on it sometime later on. I wasn't sure if I could feature it because it's a lot of works from him directly. They weren't too keen on taking pictures, but when I was there, I was being kind about it, so it seemed like it was fine. Las Vegas Magazine Hall of Fame. Oh, it's going into the Hall of Fame for 2025. The Neon Museum. The face of Las Vegas may be constantly changing, but thanks to the efforts of some of its most conscientious citizens, the city's heritage of electric signs is well preserved at the Neon Museum. It is small. It's only 2.25 acres. I was surprised by how small it was there. You can, though, if you take your leisurely time, you can, like, let's say, perusing each item, you can definitely make an hour last there. I had to leave at a certain point because I had another obligation elsewhere, but it was fine. I do not really advise walking up to the Neon Museum. I walked up there from the downtown area. The reason I don't really advise it, just because I was naive about it, I had no idea. There is a lot of sketchy crowds around the area walking towards the Neon Museum. Like, it is very, very sketchy. So do not walk at night, especially. I do not recommend that. You can do so during the daytime, like I did. Just, watch your surroundings. Just make sure you're careful. If can, actually do Uber slash Lyft slash taxi. The reason why I walked over there is because it's not too far. It's like 2 miles, maybe three, from the downtown area. So I was able to actually walk. But I'm gonna go visit it again sometime later on. I'll see what happens at that point. Signage from the Stardust, Riviera, Tropicana, El Cortez share space. That is true. The Neon Museum became a must-see attraction, and since it opened in 2012, wow, I thought it was much older than that. After nearly 2 decades of planning, and it's moving soon. Oh, so it's moving. Wow. Okay. So I'm wondering what's going to happen at that point. Looks like it'll be transported south into the Arts District, where there'll be more room to accommodate the city's design history. That's going to be a huge move. So what's going to happen to whatever is there? What's the space, right? Can you imagine this type of logistics when you're moving all of these things, these gigantic signs everywhere? How's that going to be? But yeah, you can go to the Neon Museum during the daytime, during the nighttime, walk around. It was pretty slow during the daytime. Not too many people, obviously, to go out there and see neon lights that aren't even on. But I had a blast. I was able to have my fun, take a lot of pictures, and so on. Next one comes here from Deadline. What's this? Breaking news. Brad Pitt to star in and produce Heart of the Beast, David Ayer's action adventure pick. Eh, not really interested in that. Although David Ayers does, he gets almost like a lifetime pass because he's the one that did Training Day, one of the absolute most perfect films I have ever seen. Just absolutely perfect. So here it is. Ulrich Thompson to play DC supervillain Sinestro in HBO's Lanterns. Hey, how about that? So it looks like we have the villain Sinestro now cast. The previous one was, of course, Mark Strong and the much maligned um, Green Lantern film. I can't even remember what year it came out. It was like 10 years ago. Starring Ryan Reynolds. It was an okay film. Like, I didn't have any problems with it. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad either. It was just there. But Sinestro is always an interesting character. But that's him. That's the actor right there. So Ulrich Thompson, never heard of the guy, has been tapped to recur in the HBO series Lanterns. I thought it was going to be a movie, like a theater movie. I didn't realize that it was going to be there on HBO. The series follows new recruit John Stewart and Lantern legend Hal Jordan, Kyle Chandler. Kyle Chandler? He's the one that was in Godzilla, the second movie, right? The second and third. Two intergalactic cops drawn into a dark, Earth based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland. He's a former Green Lantern who turned rogue, and so on. I don't really read too much of the Green Lantern comics. I have one, maybe two trade paperbacks that have to do with the Blackest Night, if I recall correctly. That's what it's called. Series. That was pretty fun, but I'm just not actively seeking stories of the Green Lantern. Previously announced cast also includes Kelly MacDonald, Sheriff Carey, Garrett Dillahunt, the modern cowboy William McCone, and so on. Okay, but there you are. If you are a Green Lantern fan, there is your Sinestro right there. This one has to do with comingsoon.net, and this is a movie I am looking forward to. The next Jurassic World slash Park something movie. Jurassic World Rebirth unveils new look at Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey's role. Scarlett Johansson is so beautiful, and I don't know who that dude is, like what other roles he has, but obviously ScarJo is in all the Avengers movies. She was in a really good John Travolta movie that I saw a couple years back as well. What else has she been in? She was in that Alien movie, the one where she played a alien that trapped a bunch of guys. Very memorable movie there. Jurassic World Rebirth has unveiled a new photo starring Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. This movie is so secret. Like, I have not seen anything official about it other than rumors and stuff being posted on YouTube, including some weird stuff. Kind of like fair warning, fair warning, fair warning. I'm going to give y'all a few seconds if you want to mute. If not, then go at your own risk. But all the rumors out there showcase that the world of Jurassic World and the meaning of rebirth have to do with this. Apparently, another set of long lost dinosaurs that they are there to uncover, and one of them is a mutant dinosaur, like a mutant, mishap, misshaped dinosaur. Like, it's one of the earliest ones, I guess, that InGen and Jurassic Park tried to create, but there were defects, and so it was a mutant, and so that's why It's almost called rebirth because it's almost like a new way of introducing dinosaurs while still using old ideas. Interesting stuff. There they are, Scarjo and Jonathan Bailey. So it looks like they found a nest. And then if you read the rumors associated with the Jurassic World Rebirth movie, there's going to be a classic, another dinosaur from the past, but that appeared in one of the past movies is going to be back. And then no, this is outside of Rexy, outside of the T-Rex. This is another dinosaur. I don't know if I want to reveal too much. The movie is set 5 years after the events of Dominion. Dominion was a weird movie. I still have my doubts about it. Like, it is good in the very loose sense, some ways, and then it is bad in really others. The reason I like this one more is because it says there it is directed Jurassic World Rebirth by Gareth Edwards, of course, from Godzilla 2014. And man, does that guy know how to do visual effects and to showcase the creatures in all of their majestic might. Like, none of the other Godzilla and King Kong films really compared to showcase how Godzilla looked in the original. His size, the way he moved, and so on. Here, it's going to be the same thing. I hope so. And then, obviously, Rogue One, the Star Wars movie, was really, really good. Still one of the best ones outside of the sequels. 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, the planet's ecology has proven largely inhospitable to dinosaurs. Those remaining exist in isolated equatorial environments. The three most colossal creatures within that tropical biosphere hold the keto drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind. All right. But that's it. So it's supposedly also going to have a Super Bowl premiere, a Super Bowl teaser within the Super Bowl. So we shall see if that's the case. Next one again comes from Deadline. The reason I wanted to showcase this is because it has to do with a show that I like. Bar Rescue. Bar Rescue renewed for season 10 by Paramount Network. I am a fan of Bar Rescue. I like that show. I've seen most of the episodes, like 1 through 5 of the seasons. Kind of lost track afterwards because I don't have cable anymore. But luckily now I do have the Paramount network. It comes not, I guess, free with the subscription that I have. So, not subscription, but the one that my domicile area forces me to get. So it becomes free with ads, so I'm able to watch it and see it there. So season 9 has been finalized, and now it looks like here. Also, season 9 was barely finished, and it's a premiering, and they're already announcing a season 10. John Taffer, an expert in transforming struggling hospitality establishments, known for his tough love approach, travels nationwide to rescue bars. Interesting, too, I have seen some of the areas there in Las Vegas because he's rescued a lot of those there, and driving by taxis around Las Vegas from going from point A to point B. Every now and then you can see one of those locations. It's produced by Three Ball Productions and so on. Taffer executive produces. So that's it. So otherwise, I just wanted to showcase here because I am a fan of the show. Anybody else a fan of this about Bar Rescue? It is catchy. It's very rewatchable. Even again, rewatching some of the earlier seasons on the Paramount Network, you can see the episodes there, and even though you've watched them before, they still play out pretty new. You catch new things here and there. It is a great way, from a business sense, to see how something is and then how it's fixed. And in some cases, it's not fixed. Next one comes from gamingbible.com. Last Jedi, look at that. I like that movie. I know it has a lot of haters out there, but it definitely has been getting better in my mind since its release, especially compared to the other sequels. And that's my favorite look associated with Rey from the entire sequels. Star Wars officially confirms new sequel to The Last Jedi. Says we're finally getting an explanation of what happened in between the events of Episode 8 and Episode 9. Oh, look at this! It's a play on words. Because look at that. It makes it seem like it's a movie, right? Well, it definitely caught me. It says here it's a comic book. The new comic series is titled Star Wars Legacy of Vader, and then it said as close as possible to the conclusion of Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi. So Kylo Ren is Supreme Leader, First Order. So it said right after Episode 8. It literally picks us 5 seconds after Episode 8 ends. So who exactly is Kylo Ren hunting down and so on? There's one Kylo needs to decide. He needs to face a Jedi. So I thought this was going to be a movie, but oh well. Anybody a big fan over? Guess that's it. That's the article. Anybody a big fan of The Last Jedi? If you are, then you get to see what happens seconds after that movie finishes. I really like the character to DJ, the one that was featured by Benicio del Toro. I thought he did really well in his really short role, creating a mysterious figure he wanted to see more of afterwards, especially his philosophy that he had within the film. It definitely caught my eye then, and it's an interesting character. I wanted to see more about him. Another one from Deadline. This one, Godzilla. Legendary's Godzilla X Kong sequel adds Caitlin Dever to cast. Never heard her, but there she is. Can you believe there's going to be now a third film? Like if you would have told me that sometime in my lifetime I would not only see a Godzilla movie and a sequel to the Godzilla, a King Kong movie, but then finally one, two, three Godzilla Kong movies that are teaming up together, I would have told you to leave because you're lying to me. But no, it looks like it's absolutely happening. A third Godzilla Kong movie. The second one ended up being the highest grossing one of the entire franchise out of all the movies, all of them. It became the biggest one. More power to them. I thought it was all right. The Godzilla Kong Empire one. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. I still have my favorite is actually Kong Skull Island, followed very closely by Godzilla 2014, and then going towards the rest of the movies. But yeah, it's definitely gaining traction, and it still is very popular. Almost like the Sonic movies. I haven't seen the Sonic movies, but I couldn't believe that there's three of them out there. Everyone's favorite Titans are getting a new human co-star. Sources tell that Caitlin Dever is in negotiations to join the cast. Grant Spatore steps in as director, following the footsteps of Adam Weingart, who directed the last two picks. Imagine it's not going to say much on what the story is. As it says, it's a continuation of the franchise centering Godzilla, Kong, and an assortment of other titans. Insiders say that while Kong Godzilla will still be fronting the film, Legend is looking to build on its human characters, and the first logical choice landed on Dever. Not too excited about that. Nobody really wants to see the human characters in a Godzilla Kong film. They want to see the monsters. They want to see the giant creatures traveling together, fighting each other, saving each other, and so on. Godzilla's Kong: The New Empire was the franchise's highest grossing installment. I was just talking about that. 571.9 million. Um, Looks like she starred in the movie series called Dope Sick and Book Smart. Never seen them. She's in The Last of Us. I never seen that show either. So some of you that are Last of Us fans, well, there you go. Wow, the MonsterVerse has grossed 2.5 billion at the box office. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, then there's that show, Monarch: Legacy of Monsters with Godzilla. There again, I don't have Apple TV, so I haven't seen it either. But it goes to show the popularity. Wow, associated with the movie, it just continues this franchise to just kick butt. And then one last article. This is from NBCnews.com. No shoes, no service when passengers step aboard a Spirit Airlines flight. Let's see what it says. I've never been on the Spirit Airlines. It's pretty much just Southwest for me. But if that's the case, if this is a news article, that means that this was happening so much, apparently, at Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines customers have to don unprovocative clothes that do not expose those items. I can't really say it on YouTube. When aboard the low cost carrier, they updated its contract of carriage terms. The customer can be taken off the flight if they are barefoot or inadequately clothed. So apparently that was happening on Spirit Airlines. Anybody been on Spirit Airlines? Can is this true? Like, can you share in the comments like what happens? A representative for Spirit Airlines cannot be immediately reached, and so on. Spirit serves major U.S. cities. It's also a popular target of comedians who enjoy poking fun at the airline's ultra no frills nature. Never been on there. I tried. The only time I've tried once outside of Southwest was Allegiant, and that's because they do some constant flights to Las Vegas. It was all right. I didn't have much problems there, but the reason why I didn't go back is because with Southwest, if something happens to the plane where it's delayed to the point that the flight is canceled, I can pretty much rely on another flight being readily available in a short time period, same day, hopefully, if it's not too late in the day. But with Allegiant, the gamble is, at least I saw from my flight patterns, if something is canceled, there's not enough planes really to replace it, and so they might have a chance that the next flight is not the next day, but the day after. And so that would mean staying at a place for up to 48 hours. Wow. So that's why I decided to stick with Southwest. All right, but that's it, everyone. All the information associated with this week's Godzilla news of the day. So if you have any other comments, any other stories, anything else to share, let me know in the comments below. All right, everyone. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.